Hello everybody, welcome into the channel. Today I want to talk about smart homes. The use of smart devices to various voice platforms like Google or Amazon or Apple. And that's going to be the focus when I have videos about smart devices and smart homes on my channel. Is going to be on Apple HomeKit, as it's called. Today, primarily, I want to talk about a couple of devices by a company called Eve Home. I've got a couple of their devices so far, and they blend in real well with the HomeKit ecosystem. One of them is the Eve Light Strip. I've had it for a couple, 3 weeks now. I installed it on the back of my television, and I already had one light strip by a different brand called Sync by GE. While that light strip works pretty good, it's limited on the platforms that I can use it with. I can use it with Alexa and Google Home just fine. However, it's not compatible with Apple HomeKit. And the reason why I'm leaning towards Apple HomeKit is because in previous iterations they've tried to put all these smart devices, no matter what brand they are, into I guess you could say something that where they could all talk together, no matter what brand they are. And they've tried that with Z-Wave. They've tried that with Zigbee. It seems like nobody could really agree upon what protocol to use. So you've got Hue that uses Zigbee. Lutron uses their own proprietary protocol called Leap. There are Z-Wave devices and various other iterations of a communication protocol, but none of them seem to really work together. Apple uses a relatively new protocol called Thread, and Eve has adopted that protocol, and that's simply because in the near future a company called Matter is trying to get to where all these companies will share this protocol and be able to work under in about any smart home situation you can think of. So that's kind of why it's important to me. I've been working with smart devices for quite some time. It's always been the same thing. They each have their own app. You got to have, for every brand of smart device you have to have an app for that particular brand. And it's to me, it's counterintuitive and not so smart to have to do it that way. If you can get everything under one app, then you can create automations and scenes and shortcuts to accomplish smart tasks. Like for instance, I have the Ring alarm system, and I have some Lutron Cassetta light switches, and I currently have it set up to where whenever you come up my walkway towards the house, the front door, there are a couple of Ring solar lights that's along the walkway, and they have motion sensors. And when they sense motion, if the sun is down, if it's dark outside, it will turn on the porch lights automatically. Don't have to do anything. When it senses motion, the porch lights come on. And those are the types of automations and things that I like. Whenever I'm at night, when I'm winding down, it's the end of the evening, and I'm in the bedroom, I want to watch television for an hour or so before I go to sleep. When I turn on my Apple television, the LED light strip on the bed and the one on the television come on with the Apple television. I don't have to do anything as far as flipping a switch or opening up an app and turning it on and then turn on the other one. When I push the power button on the remote and the television comes on, those lights come on automatically for me. And it comes on to a predetermined color and brightness that I've selected beforehand. And the same thing when I turn it off, those lights go out with it as well. And those are the types of automations and things that I like. And if those things weren't able to work together, then I'd have to open up an app and turn this one on, open up an app and turn that one on, and chances are I probably just wouldn't do it. It's like shortcuts. Shortcuts in the Apple world or ecosystem is a godsend. If, for example, I have the Ring alarm system. Now, by default, the Ring alarm system is not compatible with the Apple ecosystem, but there are ways to do that, and I'm not going to get into discussing it here today, but I do have it to where the Ring system shows up in HomeKit. And I've created a shortcut to where I'm just OCD or ever what you want to call it. I'm always constantly thinking when I leave the house and nobody else is home, did I lock the door? Did I shut this window or whatever? And sometimes I don't think about that until after I'm at work or wherever I've gone to, whether it's to visit my family or to go to the grocery store. I have a shortcut set up on my iPhone that when I run that shortcut, it checks all the Ring alarm sensors, and it reports back to me, including the door locks, the windows, whether the alarm's set, and tells me whether if it'll come back, if everything's set the way it's supposed to be, it'll come back and tell me everything is secure. Otherwise, it'll tell me the kitchen window's open, or the front door is not locked, or something, whatever is not the way it's supposed to be, it'll tell me. And that's the type of things that you want in a smart home, and the things to consider if you're starting a smart home. It can be pretty daunting if you're just starting out and thinking about starting a smart home, and you're probably wondering, where do I start? The things I started with was light bulbs. And now, looking back at it, I probably would not, if I were to do it all over again, knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't start with smart bulbs. And the reason being is, for every lamp that you want to be smart, you have to buy a light bulb, a smart light bulb to put in that socket. And then you have to worry about, and this is the thing that I went through, people coming through, it's used to, they don't want to use their voice to control things, or something to open an app and push a button in the app to turn something on or off. They like using switches. So any smart device that's connected onto a physical switch, just a regular old everyday, say, light switch, if somebody turns that light switch off, then the smartest device in the world just became the dumbest device in the world because it has no power. And I went through that. You know, you tell, at the time, Alexa was the thing, and I would say, and I would tell her to turn on the light, and it would say the device was not responding, and I'd go look, and the light switch would be turned off. So I'd turn the light switch back on, and that would take care of the problem. So I quickly figured out the answer to that was to use a smart light switch. And the thing you got to remember with that is the type of home that you have. The type of home I have right now, there are no neutrals in the light switch boxes. So I have, and that was the wonderful thing about Lutron Cassetta. I have to give them a quick plug. Is they have the smart dimmer switch, which doesn't require a neutral. and they work wonderful. They are a little bit expensive, but sometimes you get what you pay for. And that's the thing with the, I'm starting out with Eve products to bring a little bit more attention to them because of they're a company that respects your privacy. There are no, in a lot of devices that you get, you have to have an extra hub, like Lutron, they do require a hub. Philips Hue, they require a hub as well. A lot of them require an extra hub in order to use their devices, and that's because of the protocols that they use to communicate with, and they use a cloud server. And that's the difference with Eve products, is they do not use a cloud server whatsoever. Your data is secure with Eve products, and that's what got my interest in their devices. They are a little bit more expensive than most other devices, like a smart plug, a smart outlet plug that you plug in, and it's basically an on-off switch. You can go to, I don't know, let's just pick one, Lowe's, and they have a smart light switch there from a company called Enbrighton. It's your basic on-off switch. You download an app, and then you can tell AA or Google to turn it on or turn it off, and it does just that. And that's all its purpose is in life. But they're about, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks at Lowe's, U.S. price at the time of making this video, as compared to one of Eve's smart outlets is about $40 from Amazon or their store, their online store, either one. But the difference is Eve doesn't collect any data off of that device, your personal data. There is no hub. There's no hub with the other one either that I'm aware of, but everything is controlled through their app, and they do collect some personal data as compared to Eve doesn't. And also, from what I understand, I will be receiving one soon, and I'll be doing a video on it. That the reason it's called Eve Energy is because it will allow you to track the power that's used through that device, which is pretty cool. Now that's just what goes through that device. It's not for your whole house. It would be cool to be able to track your energy usage per circuit in your own house. And they make devices like that. They are quite expensive, and if that's something you're interested in, you can look them up and find them. I've seen some that, and with today's energy prices, I've been considering it. If I had the extra money, they cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000 US. So that's kind of prohibitive for me. But lately, my last electric bill was almost $500. So yeah, it might be worthwhile to check into. But like I say, Eve doesn't collect any personal data. Your privacy is their focus when they make a device. They have several devices on the market, and hopefully I'll be getting more of them soon so I can do some reviews and see how things go. Currently, like I say, I have the Eve Light Strip. That one is a Wi-Fi device. It doesn't do a thread. But I also have the Eve Weather. The Weather is an interesting device because not only does it tell you the temperature, it's not like a thermometer you hang outside. You come outside, you look at it, you see the temperature. That's cool and all, because everybody's got smartphones nowadays, and they look on their smartphone and it tells them the temperature. Well, that temperature comes from somewhere else, and they get that temperature from a weather station, maybe an airport like Jackson Weather Service in Kentucky. If you're in Kentucky like I am, Jackson Weather Service or Powerful Weather Service, from there, maybe from an airport or a weather service, NOAA weather service. You know, it just depends on where you're located as where it might come from. You know, this is a local. You hang it outside somewhere, you know, like mine's on my front porch. That's where that temperature comes from. It also tells you humidity and a barometer reading, and it will give you a 12-hour forecast, which is, so far, I've only had it for 3 days, and so far it's been pretty accurate. Once it got enough data to go on, you know, you're not going to be able to just hang it out there and it instantly give you a 12-hour forecast. It has to collect some data from temperature, humidity, and the barometer in order to give you an accurate forecast. And in the EVAP, you can see those temperature. It keeps a graph history of each of those 3 sensor readings, and it also gives you a trend, you know, and that's your weather forecast over the next 4 hours, or 12 hours, I'm sorry. That information is, to me, is great to have. The weather sensor, last time I looked, it was on Amazon, I believe it was. It was about $75 on sale. Normally they're about $80, from what I remember. But the Eve Weather works off Bluetooth, so you don't have to have any kind of a network for that to work. It also works off Thread. Now, I don't think I mentioned before, but in order to use Thread, you have to have what they call a border router. And that's simply, in the Apple ecosystem, either a HomePod Mini. I believe the original HomePod will work as one as well. I'm not quite sure. You'll have to check the specs on it. And the latest Apple TV Home, or Apple TV 4K, is the one that came with the aluminum remote, not the black one, but the aluminum remote. It's the latest version. Those 2 devices will work as a border router to enable the use of Thread. So, that's some information for smart home enthusiasts. Enthusiasts are probably looking at this video saying, yeah, I already know all that, and that's fine. What I want to try to accomplish with this channel is the exposure of Eve and their philosophy on privacy, Thread, and Matter, because that's what those 2 things is what's going to make everything all work together in the upcoming future. Thread's already here in Apple products, so that's why I'm choosing their ecosystem. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them below, and I'll try to answer them. If you look forward to this kind of content, if you like it, go ahead and like this channel, or maybe even subscribe to it. I'm going to try to keep new videos coming as quick as I can get content to put up here. I appreciate everybody stopping by and hanging out to the end of the video very much. Y'all have a good day.